Hey everyone, how are you doing? Hope you're having an amazing day. Today we're going to talk about emotional baggage in a relationship or in relationships, emotional baggage that we carry around. And sometimes some people carry emotional baggage throughout their life for a lifetime and bring it to relationship after relationship. And guess what? You collect more baggage as you enter into new relationships. So, this is a very important topic today. I want to encourage you to share the video, to tag someone, to encourage others with this message as well. It's something that we really need to deal with. And I've been, again, reading a lot of your questions you have. You've been inboxing me, you've been messaging me, and I want to say keep it going. I'm learning so much, and I'm excited to share advice and to give you guidance on which way to go. Hey everyone, hey Love Nation, good to see all of you joining me live right now. And I just want to thank you for being a part. Thank you for watching, and also to make sure you share the video. So we're talking about emotional baggage in relationships. Emotional baggage, carrying around emotional baggage. And another thing I want to say, did I say good? Good day, everyone. But another thing I want to say is a lot of times we think of emotional baggage, but I like to also call it spiritual baggage, because it can weigh you down. And I always say spiritual weight is heavier than physical weight. When you are weighed down spiritually and emotionally, in your spirit, it affects every area of your life. So we're going to get into this topic more and more. I want to also encourage those of you who are watching live, if you have questions and they come up as you're watching this video, feel free to type in your question. I would love to hear from you and love to answer any questions that you may have. So, emotional baggage in relationships. What are some of the emotional baggage that we carry around? Some of them are our toxic emotions. It could be unforgiveness. Unforgiveness is a huge, heavyweight emotional baggage that you would carry. Another one is regret. You may have regret. You may feel bad, like, oh, I should have did it this way. I shouldn't have did that. I should have made a different decision. Regret can be very, very heavy. So if you have a lot of regret in your life, just know that that is a heavy emotional baggage that you are carrying around. Another one, shame. What are you shamed about? Maybe it's some things that you feel like you've been holding inside. You're too shameful to talk about it. You're too shameful to even get advice on the situation, or maybe you're too shameful to even address that is there. You've been like avoiding it, running from it, and just trying to put it, to the side, put it on, and just pretend that it didn't happen, pretend that it's not there. But it's a heavy burden that follows you throughout your life, and you carry that from relationship to relationship. So shame is also heavy. And here's a big one. And this big one, I'm telling you, it will hold you down if you don't get a hold of it. And it's fear. Fear is paralyzing. It will keep you in a place of unfulfillment. It will stop you from going after your goals. It will stop you from even having a dream or a vision or something that you want to accomplish, because fear is truly paralyzing, and it gets you in a place where you're like in a standstill position. You're not elevating, you're not enhancing your life, you're not improving, you're not getting better, because that fear is kind of crippling you, stopping you from increasing. So fear is a heavy emotional baggage that you want to address. Are you dealing with some fear? Are you dealing with unforgiveness, shame? What are the toxic situations or the toxic emotional baggage that you have been carrying around? So you want to be aware of it. It's very important that you become aware of it and you acknowledge it and you deal with it. See, a lot of times we avoid dealing with toxic emotions because there's a lot of pain there. But when I tell you, you can find purpose in that pain if you are willing to address it and do whatever it takes, whether it means you need to get counseling. Maybe it means you need to talk to someone. You need to read a book to educate yourself on the issue and to grow from the issue and to get more understanding and clarity of the issue. You may need to join, some type of support group. You got to get to the place in your life where you're willing to do whatever it takes to heal, where you are willing to put yourself as a priority and you no longer avoid healing or ignore what's there, but you do whatever it takes to make sure that you stop whatever it is that's hindering you from elevating, that's hindering your family from prospering, that's hindering your life from evolving. You need to address what is that situation, what is that thing, what's causing it, where did it come from, and how can I start healing? Great question, Roxanne. What are some good books? There are so many books out there on emotional baggage. I've written several books. One of my books is called Addicted to Pain, Renew Your Mind and Heal Your Spirit from a Toxic Relationship. I wrote a book called You Are Enough, Overcoming People Pleasing and Emotionally Unavailable Relationships. But again, do your research. You can find my books at RainieHoward.com, also on Amazon. But what it is you really need to do is address, what are you dealing with? And once you get clear with it, you really got to get clear. And another thing I want to say about the books that I've written, many of them will walk you through the process of healing by allowing you to even write in the books and answer specific questions that are talked about in each chapter, and to really get to a place of clarity, understanding about what's going on with you and your healing. You're welcome. So emotional baggage. Why is it important that you release emotional baggage? Some people say, well, it's not a big deal. It's just, you can't see it. Nobody knows that I'm going through this. I can hide it. I can, avoid it. The reason why it's important to release it is because emotional baggage is a cancer. It impacts your life. It steals your energy. See, you want to have energy because you use your energy to be creative. You use your energy to go after things in your life. But when you are filled with and you are carrying so much emotional baggage, it will deplete you of your energy, and it will keep your life in this place of this, like I said, this stagnant position where you're not progressing, you're not moving forward, you're in a standstill place. And so this is why it's so important that you release emotional baggage. And what does emotional baggage do to your relationships? Emotional baggage can damage your relationships. It can cause more heartbreak. It can cause a lot of trust issues, unforgiveness. Emotional baggage can weigh your relationship down if you don't address it, if you don't deal with it. And then it's so important to be understanding with other people when they're dealing with emotional baggage. And you got to understand your boundaries and what to accept and what not to accept. See, that's a whole nother process that I'm going to get more in detail to, because guys, I've been telling you that we're going to have a webinar. I'm going to be hosting a webinar, and this webinar is going to go into detail, walk you step by step in the process of practical action plans that you can take in order to get to your full healing. So where does this emotional baggage come from? It comes from hurt. It comes from abuse. It comes from disappointment, things that you've encountered in your past, something that could have happened to you years ago can still come up and impact your life today. So you want to address whatever it is that you're dealing with. And when do you get, you know, the emotional, spiritual baggage? And again, it comes and it happens in your life when you've experienced a situation that has impacted you in a negative way, and it stayed with you. It stayed in your mind. It's embedded in your memory. It haunts you almost. And so that's what you want to address. That's what you want to deal with. I am super excited about sharing some advice today right now on Ask Rainie. I'm going to read a question someone inboxed me. And I want to encourage you, if you have questions, go to my inbox and just type in your question. You have a question, I would love to help you and share your advice. Someone inboxed me and said that their husband went to jail after 5 years of marriage. While her husband was in jail, she waited for him as long as she could. She was waiting and waiting and waiting until she just got to a place where she couldn't wait anymore. She said she was so desperate to be held and loved and noticed by a man that it led her to another relationship, which caused her to cheat on her husband, to have a baby by this man that she was with. And it got to her so bad, she started to feel shameful about it. She started to feel guilty about it. She didn't know what to do, so the only thing she could think of was to file for divorce, because she just felt like, I just need to get out of this situation. Well, that caused problems with her ex-husband once he did get out of prison, and, you know, interacting with him and co-parenting with him, because they shared children together, was very, very, very difficult. And so she said that she felt so guilty about the situation, but now she's with this man who she cheated on her husband with. She don't like being in a relationship. It's a toxic situation. The man, he's not contributing to her life. He's not contributing to her relationship. So she's asking me, what do I do? What do I do in this situation? Should I leave? What should I go? Or, you know, she was saying, you know, she know that she was wrong. She know that, you know, she didn't do the right thing, but now what? And so my answer to her, first of all, I wanted to commend her for having a high level of awareness, to really be aware of her situation, the part that she played, and not just look like a victim or a blame or whatever, but to know that she's wrong, to be aware of that. I commend her for that, because a lot of people don't want to face that fact. So that's big. And then I encouraged her to create a strategy and a plan to get out of that toxic situation, because it's not healthy for her. It's not healthy for her children. So I told her to begin to strategize. See, what led her to the decision to, you know, cheat and be with another man and all that stuff, it was an instant gratification decision. And so what I told her was, it's so important that you don't allow instant gratification to control your decisions, but to be strategic about your plan, to really have a plan. Even leaving a toxic relationship, you need to be strategic. You don't need to be quick and go after instant gratification. Oh, I need to leave. I need to go. I need to just leave. Because see, if you don't think things through, you can put yourself in danger. So this is why it's important to have a plan, to have a strategy, to really think things through, plan things out, you know, get everything in line that you need to get in line before you make those moves. But it's so important that you don't make short-term decisions that impact long-term in your life. So you got to think long-term in your decisions. You got to think long-term in the plan and the strategy to exit a toxic relationship. You got to think long-term when it comes to starting a new relationship or becoming intimate with someone, just to fulfill your physical needs or whatever. You got to think long term about that situation, because that one moment, that one incident can shape and change your entire life. So that's my answer. If you have any more questions, go ahead and inbox me, ask Rainie, and I would love to give you some advice. Again, today's topic is all about emotional baggage and relationships. And I want to remind you guys that we have a really, really good webinar. I'm going to be announcing this webinar this week, 2 more days, this Wednesday. I'm going to be announcing the webinar, and you'll be able to sign up for the webinar. In the webinar, we're going to go deep into the process of action steps, action plan, to really set yourself up for the life and the future you desire. Okay, so let's see. Again, do you need advice? Inbox me. Also, visit my website at rainiehoward.com. I would love to hear from you, connect with you. I'm so glad you guys joined me today. Let's see. Do I have a question? Okay. Heather, I was listening to a female in my church's single women's connection group with a life coach, and she said some issues stem from mother wounds as children, and recommended a trauma therapist or a life coach to dig to the deep root of emotional baggage. That is so good. That is so true. And that's really part of the healing process. And it's good to have somebody walk with you. And that's really why I'm doing this webinar, because it's so important that you understand what you're going through. You're going to have so many questions. You're going to feel like, why am I feeling like this? What is this going? Why do I feel like, at times when you're going through the healing process, you may feel like you're experiencing like a out of body experience. Like you don't understand. You don't feel yourself. You may deal with some panic or something. And so this is why it's so important for you to have somebody walk with you through this process, lead you through this process, let you know that it's okay. This is part of the healing. This is what goes on. This is what a narcissist is. This is what you look out for. This is why, abusive men do what they do. This is how they think. This is what you need to be aware of. See, these are things that you need to become more aware of, and it's so important that you definitely walk through that process. Good. Okay, thank you guys for watching. Again, I want to encourage you to share the video, tag your friends to the video, encourage others to watch. And I'm going to hop over to Instagram, and I'm going to share some of this same good stuff with them, and also read another Ask Rainie question. If you're not following me, follow me on Instagram at Rainie Howard, and we'll connect there as well. All right. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks again for watching. Bye.